When Trump called the affordability crisis a con job, the numbers tell a different story. For millions of families, the basics of everyday life are getting more expensive faster than their paychecks can grow. Economists estimate that only about 20% of tariff costs show up in consumer prices, which undercuts the idea that trade policy is the main driver of what people feel at the checkout line. Instead, the real squeeze is coming from what some analysts call the unaffordability five: housing, food, healthcare, childcare, and energy, all of which have seen prices jump much faster than incomes since 2019. Housing alone is up roughly 34% over that period, driven by tight supply, high mortgage rates, and local zoning limits. Food costs spiked after the drought, avian flu, and years of thin margins for producers. Child care and health insurance are climbing amid staffing shortages and limited capacity, and energy bills are being pushed higher as demand from data centers and electrification collides with an aging power grid. Affordability has become America's defining economic anxiety, and it's rooted in deep structural problems at home and not just tariffs. The thing here on Congo that we have to contend with on this whole thing is this here. You cannot continue to have the wealthy expand their wealth and then you squeeze middle class, lower class, and poor people. When you have these battles, when you look at AI whacking jobs, and again, rich getting richer. When you have folks who want to oppose a living wage, that's a real issue. And so the thing right here from a political standpoint, the individuals that are making tackling the affordability issue are going to succeed politically. You look at Zoran Mamdani in New York City. On the national level, Republicans, look at some 20, 30 Republicans, according to Puck, are talking about retiring because they're afraid they're going to lose the House. And so when you look at the bills being addressed, that big, ugly bill passed did not address the affordability issues. Republicans standing behind Trump and this uncertainty of the tariffs is, again, hurting the economy. That's what folks have to recognize is going on here.
I mean, enter Jasmine Crockett. I mean, this is one of the reasons why she has such a strong chance of winning, because she has been a champion in all of these issues. And let's also be mindful of the fact that Kamala Harris had an affordability plan. Everyone's saying affordability now is the language of the day. But if Republicans are going to keep running away from this, shoot, here's hoping that more of them retire, because they are too scared to get in the way of this man and his agenda. And I saw just this weekend, one of his son's companies that he's affiliated with got a $620 million contract with the Pentagon. So this kleptocracy is real, and people are seeing that as well. I'm running into some, white people that I know who are saying that their white privilege isn't even working for them right now because the economy is so terrible. And so more people are rising up to actually see that this man is a fraud, while he's building a ballroom that's bigger than the entire White House itself, while he's pardoning all of his friends right now and drug dealers and the like. And the jig is up. And if people don't speak up now, I'm just glad that they're finally realizing it. But once again, Roland, it's all going to matter as it relates to that ballot. It's all going to matter as people show up. Because if people are saying, yeah, Trump doesn't care about me, he doesn't care about my life, and so on and so forth, oh, but I can't vote for the Democrat, then this is all going to be for naught. This is a time where people need to continue to stand up. And we saw it in the elections that happened in November. That momentum needs to keep going, because Trump has clearly shown that he does not give a damn. He hasn't done a single thing to lift the pocketbooks, to lift any of those five issues that you brought up, to change those for people. In fact, it's his exact policies that's making it worse. And many of us in this society right now are having tougher times than we did under COVID. And this is a man-made phenomenon, and he's continuing to milk the country while more of us suffer. And I hope more people continue to speak up and vote for candidates, regardless of their backgrounds, who are challenging this issue.
But if you're running, Jolanda, you have to be speaking to the issues and talking very specifically about policy, and not just saying Trump, 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 and the Republicans. And so, as someone who's elected, how do you make that argument? Take us through, how do you speak to the voters to say why you should back me over my opponent?
So what you have to do is you have to connect the dots for them. I think that a lot of people don't understand the dots. So they don't understand. They want just like somebody to make a conclusory statement and they just believe it. So the question now is, when you go to the grocery store, why are eggs more expensive? When you go to the grocery store, why is milk more expensive? You have to explain, again, a lot of dots. You have to explain the tariffs. You have to explain that the farmers that grow the food aren't getting the taxes that they used to get from in the form of payments from the government. And so that's why eggs cost more. You have to explain that farms are crashing, so there's less supply. Therefore, the demand is high. You're going to have to pay more. That is what that we have to do. My question, especially in Texas, though, is Trump has been masterful in just saying that the Democrats did it, the Democrats did it, the Democrats did it. As Jasmine said when she was speaking, Republicans have controlled Texas for a long time. But in Texas, even though Republicans control the House, they control the Senate, and they control the governor's office, the people just believe that it's the Democrats' problem. So I think that we're going to have to go knock doors. I think we as elected officials are going to have more town halls and explain to them how government works. And I know I plan on doing that, to have town halls in my district to let people know, if you vote for me, this is going to help this. If you vote for me, I am going to vote when bills are filed that we get more Medicaid, that we get more Medicare. I am going to vote that we give you more subsidies, that we provide more money for affordable housing. People don't understand that, Roland, and that's exasperating for an elected official, because I'm at a conference right now and they were talking about, well, people, you have to be able to tell people this. Well, when I try to be on the radio and just explain things, radio costs. So it's easier said than done, but we're just going to have to go, and we're going to have to take it to the streets, and we're going to have to meet people where they are. We're going to have to go to their homes. We're going to have events in their districts. A lot of people are transportation challenged. They can't get to places. We're going to have to do more things where we can have teletown halls where people can actually watch these town halls on their devices, because it's just very, very, very difficult. And we need to explain to people how things actually work. People don't understand how much money is being sent overseas. People don't understand what's being cut here, which translates into why they don't have money. And as an elected official, especially a state representative, it's just hard to do that, but we're going to have to do it. So what I'm hoping is Jasmine's candidacy mobilizes people to go and actually knock doors to explain to people how government actually works, and why in Texas we are failing because we continue. And I'm a part of I live in Texas, but why Republicans are getting elected. And then the question for me is the way that they racially gerrymandered these districts, is that going to matter? My question is, are Republicans sick and tired of being sick and tired? Are they going to take a chance on people who are speaking to their issues? Because at least in Texas, what I've seen is that people respect their privilege more than they respect their issues. And as the doctor just said before this, he's got people with white privilege saying their privilege isn't getting them as much. The question is, are you going to pay attention to your issues, or are you only going to focus on race? Because
Randy,
what you're doing, we're going to stay in the same. We're going to stay in the same situation that we're in.
Randy, the points that Jelana makes up is something that I've talked about. That we have to be operating in an age what I call educate, enlighten, and inform. And one of the things that Gary Chambers is doing in Baton Rouge, they're having these civics courses. I've talked about this publicly. What really has to happen is we really do have to walk people through.
Hello, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase, and I'm here with a very important message. We are at a turning point in the Black community where we must have equity in the apps we use that scale to billions of dollars. But this time, we own the infrastructure, we own the culture, and we shape the future. And Fanbase is the future. Fanbase combines the free functionality of Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube into an all-in-one platform built for the evolution of social media and monetization. With over 1.4 million users, that's real proof that we are shifting the conversation of tech ownership and equity for creators. So right now, I want you to go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest today. The minimum to invest is $399. That gets you 60 shares of stock in Fanbase at $665 a share. This marks a turning point in Black ownership of social media. If we don't take this opportunity to own social media right now, we will always be customers to our own creations. And that can't go on. So once again, go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest today. We must own the platforms where our voices live, our stories matter, and where our culture drives the world. Thank you.